In this video, I'll show you a comprehensive guide on everything you need to know as a beginner in effectively using YNAB. So YNAB, in short for You Need a Budget, isn't just a budgeting app. It's a full system built around giving every dollar a job and helping you stay one step ahead of your expenses. So first of all is that you would want to download and install YNAB into your device. So you could do this on your phone or in browser. So if you are in iOS, go into the App Store. If you're in Android, go to the Play Store and download YNAB from there. And then once it's downloaded and installed, you want to tap on Open. And now, from here, you could try YNAB for free, or you can go for I already have an account if you already have one. But in my case, I'll just tap on try YNAB for free. Now, from here, we can now begin our setup. So first is the name. So we could just name this Kyle, for example, and tap on continue. Next is, it would now ask where you'd hear about YNAB. I'll just say YouTube, and then some more questions in here that you could answer. So just answer all of it. And then once you have successfully answered all of these questions, YNAB would now be able to provide you a customized plan according to the answers that you have given. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is to tap here on sign up to continue. So let's sign up with our account in order for us to proceed. And now I'm just going to go with my Apple account right here since I am using my iOS and it is now using the sign-in method with Apple, and I'm just going to wait for it. And now it's creating my account. So now you'll be proceeding in here wherein you can see the plan or subscription for YNAB, which you would need to proceed. So don't worry, they have a free trial that you could try out in order for you to be able to assess if YNAB is the one for you, if it's real helpful. So I'm just going to go for the monthly one and I'm going to tap here on try free and subscribe. And then after that, it will now process our 1 month free trial. And then it would charge us after a month if we didn't cancel it. And now we're all set. Now we will be proceeding into YNAB. So in here, we could now set our currency in here. So I'm just going to go and select my currency. And as for this one, I'm just going to go for USD so that it will be more appropriate for this tutorial right there. And by the way, you also have the number format and currency placement if you'd want that. So you could also tweak the settings in here. In my case, I'm fine with that. So I'm just going to tap on let's go. So now in here, we can now set our 1 to 3 targets. So first is mortgage. And let's say that I would go for 2,500 for this one. And then as for the electricity, let's say that I'm going to go for an estimated value of, let's say, $100 right there. Next is the water. Let's say that I would want to go for another 100 in here. And that's it. We have now set our 3 targets. Now we can tap here on next at the top right if you're done. Now you can now add your account balance. So with this method, you'll assign the money that you have right now to upcoming expenses. There is no need for income forecasting. So in here, you can tap on add balance button. And then in here, it would now load. And then you could now link your bank or cards and automatically import your transactions here into YNAB so that you won't have to manually import them right here and record everything because that would take a lot of effort and time. So you could tap here on linked. And from here, you could just tap on add connections. And now it would now load up the institutions that is associated or can be integrated with YNAB. So you could just input your details in here on that institution, and then you could now link your account. And that way you won't have the hassle anymore of manually inputting or importing it. But if you can't do that option, or if you don't want that, then you can just tap here on unlink. And in this one, you can just give it a name. In this way, you will just be manually importing every detail or transaction that you'll be making. In this case, I'll just go for a sample account. And then I'm going to go for what type of account that you want. Is you can go for cash accounts, you can go for checking, savings, cash, credit cards, and mortgages, and tracking accounts, and so on. In my case, I'll just go for checking. Next is what is your current account balance on this account that you will be importing. So let's say that my balance in here would be $5,000 right there. And tap on next right here and it will now be success. So now you could add another if you'd want to, but in my case, I'm satisfied with that. So I'm just going to tap here on done. And now here it is. We now have our 5,000 balance in here in YNAB. Now what we need is to assign this money. So I tap here on assign money. And then from here, you can now assign money to the expenses that you care. And from here, we could now tap here on the expenses, like for example, mortgage. I'm going to tap on that. And from here, you could now assign the full $2,500 for this month, or you could just go for little by little if it's not yet that urgent. So for example, I'm just going to put in 500 and tap on done. As you can see, it would now fill up this gauge right here, and it would now record 500 in there. So it would also be deducted to the remaining balance that you have allocated for this account right here, or your total balance. And you could also go for the other expenses in here. Like for example, in the electricity. So let's say that I would want to assign $100. And as you can see, it would now fill up that gauge. Same goes for the other thing, which is water that we have assigned. So we can go assign 100 for that, and it would automatically be deducted into our balance. Now we could also go for the other expenses in here. Like for example, in phone, I'm going to put in $500 and tap on done, and it would also be assigned in there. And now once you're all done, tap on finish assigning. Now, once you're in here, you would now be able to see an overview again of all of your groups in here, or items or targets that you have set up. Now, if you would want to edit them again, then what you need to do is to tap here on this button, where you can see the edit button on the top right. And from here, you would now be able to edit your plans. So this is April's targets, and then you can enter your expected income this month. So you want to tap on it. And from here, you can just set the income amount, let's say $5,000. Next is that you can tap for a new group if you'd want that. So when you tap on it, you'll be able to set a new category name, like sample category or a group. Save. And as you can see, it would now add this right there. And then you could add more items in that group if you'd want to by tapping on the plus button. But yeah, if you'd want to do that. And then here in the item, so for example, you'd want to assign a target again for this item in here. So this is where you could do it. So tap on it. And from here, you can add a target. And then after that, you can input the amount for weekly, monthly, yearly, or custom, whatever you'd want for the target to be set on this specific item. All right, so that's it. Next is that we can tap here on the date on the top. So you can tap on that. And from here, you can navigate to the different months of the year in here so that you'd be able to see your different budget plans and so on. And if you have some history in here, then you should see it here. And you could even go advanced if you'd want to. And next is that we can just go back, and now we'll be going here into the account section at the bottom. And this is where you'd be able to add another account, just like what we did earlier. And this is where you can see all of your transactions that has happened. And then next is that you can tap here on add account. So in here, you could go for the linked or unlinked account again right here. So once it's loaded, then you should now see it right here, just like so. All right, we're done with the accounts. Now we're gonna go here into the plus button here on transaction at the bottom middle. So in here, you could go for outflow or inflow, which means outflow is when you're spending money, or inflow, which is when you're gaining money. So from here, let's say that we ate out at a restaurant. So I'm gonna go, let's say I have spent $55 right there. And in here, in choose a payee, is that you're gonna tap on it. And then you would want to name the payee, or to who or to what did you pay. So for example, I am paying this to a restaurant. So I am going to name the restaurant, let's say a sample restaurant, or whatever restaurant name it is. So once you're done, you want to tap here on the plus button, create a sample restaurant as a pay in here, and then choose a category. Since we ate out at a restaurant, you want to go for dining, maybe dining out right here, which is in the once. And just like that. Now you can go for the account. So what account did you use in spending this? So in my case, I only have one account here in YNAB, so I'm just going to choose this. Next is the date. So when did you spend this? You can go for the date. And next is you can tap here on cleared if this transaction has officially gone through your bank. And next is that you could go for the flag just for the purpose of organizing your transaction. So you could go for whatever color you'd want to organize this. And next is that you can tap here for repeat, which is for setting up recurring transactions. So if it's not recurring, then just go for never and tap on save. And after that, it will now be deducted into your balance. As you can see, we now have recorded the transaction, and you can see the overspent category, which is the dining out that we have just recorded. And now we can tap on plus transaction, and this time we'll be going for inflow, and it's basically the same thing. Let's say $55, and then choose a payee, and I'm just gonna go for the simple same one, but you could also edit that if you'd want. And let's say it's cleared, and then tap on save. And as you can see, it has now evened out those overspending. And now next, let's go here into Reflex. So you can tap here, and this is where YNAB gives you a snapshot of your recent spending habits. It automatically groups your expenses by category, like groceries, dining out, or entertainment, and compares them to previous months. It's a quick way to see where your money's going, spot trends, and make adjustments without digging through every transaction. Next is we have the help button in here at the bottom. So in here, this is where you could get help on whether you are having some trouble on using YNAB. Then this is where you can see the guides that YNAB has available for you. So yeah, this is it for this video. That's everything you need to know, which is the basics here in YNAB as a beginner to start using it effectively. So if you have found this video helpful, can you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. See you on the next one.